Am I the a-hole for getting my coworker fired over a picture? Plus some more work drama. I, 31 male, have a pretty good idea that I'm neither at fault nor an asshole, but colleagues have been telling me that I am, at the very least, an idiot. I am an engineer working in Europe.
Mr. Smarty Pants.
About 2 years ago, I was working for an American firm where management pushed an employee advocacy program, hiring a photographer to take sleek profile pictures and helping us with writing and making LinkedIn content. Okay. After I got hired by my last firm, I've since then changed to academia for now. A woman, mid-20s female, from HR at the American firm called me in the middle of my night. She wanted me to take down my LinkedIn profile picture. Ooh, was it the one that they paid for? Citing it was their property. When I refused, she said I was lucky they didn't make me take down my entire profile. Oh. She also sent me an email where she, more politely, told me to take down the picture. I was initially stubborn, but decided it wasn't worth the risk and changed it to a picture I took during the summer. Okay, interesting tidbit of information. You guys know I was a photographer way back when. It was my survival job when I first moved to Toronto. I did actually take pictures, corporate photos of employees that worked at a particular corporate job. It actually doesn't surprise me because all these pictures were paid for by that company. If you stopped working there, I can see why they would get weird about you having the photo up. Because it's technically their photo, you know? They're the ones that signed the contract. They're the ones that paid for it. So I could see why they get testy. They don't need to, but I get it. A few months ago, I met my former boss, 35 female, at a conference where we got to talking and had dinner. She had kind of offhandedly mentioned my new profile picture, which to be honest has way lower quality. I said something to the effect of,
"Yeah, well, your HR wanted me to take it down."
And the conversation moved on. I didn't mention who from HR. I feel like that is important. Now, 2 weeks ago, I started receiving harassing messages through my different socials and on my public workplace email. They're coming from real profiles, not newly created ones, telling me off for ruining people's careers. Oh. Okay, so your former boss had literally no problem with you using this profile picture that her company paid for. They were all vague and super rude, so I mostly just blocked and reported. One of the latest ones wrote, "Typical male toxic BS to on HR." Well, hang on a second. No. Putting two and two together, sure enough, they were connected to the HR woman on LinkedIn. But who told her to tell you to take that profile picture down if it wasn't something that she was told to do? I could see that she was no longer at the first firm, instead being employed at last name consultancy. And her tagline read,
"Empowering engineering and IT companies through inclusive culture changes."
Not actual tagline, but close enough. She also has the open to work frame. Okay, so she's probably working freelance as a consultant and doesn't have the job that she had anymore.
And whose fault is that?
I wrote her and politely but sternly told her to call off her flying monkeys. She responded with,
"Rude emoji. Think twice before you ruin people's careers just to be petty."
I mean, you didn't tell your boss to fire her. You just said what happened. I also reached out to my former boss and found out the HR woman was fired and that she couldn't go into details. I told a few colleagues over lunch and there were quite divisive responses, ranging from, "You basically didn't do anything, but in corporate things, it's dumb to say anything not neutral about past places of employment," to, "You threw her under the bus in what was probably her first real job." So, am I the a-hole for this whole thing? I do feel bad about her not being able to find work, but at the same time, all I did was gossip a bit with what amounts to a former colleague. Interesting. I could actually understand where the HR employee was coming from if her employer was telling her to track down former employees that were using company property, so to speak. But it is a little bit of a weird mission to be on. Yes, you didn't have to gossip, but at the same time, it's not like you work there anymore. It's not like your job is at stake. And she literally was kind of like threatening. Something tells me like there's a very good reason why she lost her job. Like I have a feeling that this was not the first problem with her. Legally speaking, you are supposed to give, like, if you've ever fired somebody before, I don't know if you have, but you can't just fire people. They can up royally. Like, I'm dead serious. You could be in a situation as an employer where someone can royally up so bad, they put your entire company in jeopardy, and it doesn't matter.
Ask me how I know.
You still have to have like proof that they consistently didn't do their job and they consistently messed up before you can fire someone. At least where I'm from, that's what you have to do. So it wouldn't surprise me if this was not the first issue with this employee. The way that she's like making it her personal mission to like bully you and harass you over something that like she did, like she took it upon herself to like contact you and tell you to take down the photo, and she was kind of like mildly threatening, not mildly, like she was rather threatening. It just seems to me like this is the type of person that deserved to get fired. If anyone ruined a career, it was her ruining her own career. That's just my personal take. So I don't think you're the a-hole, but let's see. This woman was fired for a good reason. You didn't hit on her, and you didn't even tell your former boss how rude she had been. Yeah, see, you kind of just said like,
Oh yeah, you guys told me to take down the photo.
and you didn't even allude to the fact that you had been like being harassed. At least you didn't share that in this post. I feel like you went kind of easy on her, and the only reason why you brought it up in the first place was because your former boss mentioned it and made fun of your current picture, which you were forced to put up. And if she'd been doing her job, she wouldn't have been fired for this one incident. The way she handled your complaint to her fully illustrates why she's no longer having a job. She's rude and unprofessional. You're not the reason she can't find a job. So basically just stating what I said. Agree. It sounds like a nail on the coffin type thing. Can't imagine that someone's fired for contacting an ex-employee. This is why it's like, I don't really feel like this is like a big deal or a reason to fire someone. There was probably a long list of issues with this person. Not the a-hole. If the company had any real legal claim to make you remove the pic, you would have been contacted by legal, not some HR nitwit. And again, if the company really wanted this done, you would have gotten a letter from a lawyer spelling out the reasons for this request. None of it would have devolved into name calling or online harassment. She was clearly drunk with her perceived corporate power. Adults are responsible for the results of their own actions. I feel like I kind of agree with everybody in these comments. I'm gonna go with not the a-hole for this one. Moving on. We got some more work drama for you, honey. I'm just getting started. Am I the a-hole for refusing to change jobs because of my friend's girlfriend? I, 23 male, recently moved to Seoul and got a job as a stage performer at a local club. I'm in good shape, so my job involves putting on shows for female audiences. Ooh. Ooh. Is this like a Magic Mike kind of thing? Or like, dancing, interacting with them on stage, going into the crowd, etc. It's physically demanding work, and sometimes I get inappropriately touched. Oh, no bueno. Like getting scratches on my torso, which sucks since my looks are part of my income. But the pay is good, and I really need the money. My older brother recently battled a serious illness, lost his income, and my parents drained their savings to help him. Before this, they could support me financially, and now it's my turn to help them. Okay. Enter my best friend, Jay, 25 male, who's lived in Seoul for years with his girlfriend, Annie, 27 female. Recently, Jay used his work bonus to buy front row tickets to my show. Big mistake. Okay. During my performance, where I'm required to interact with front row attendees, I approached their section. Annie wrapped her arms around me, ran her hands over my body, and basically clung to me for several seconds. In front of your best friend, aka her boyfriend? Like, she shouldn't be doing that in the first place, but that's pretty bold to do that in front of him. Standard work stuff. I was about to move on when Jay started yelling at me to get away from his girl and shoved me slightly. Aspetta. One moment, please. You go over to your friend and you say hello, and then she gets inappropriate with you, and now you are in trouble. Ah no piace. I don't like. Our club's protocol, when guys get jealous, we're trained to immediately disengage and redirect. No arguing, just exit the situation. This isn't my first rodeo with jealous boyfriends, so when Annie full-on grabbed me during my crowd walk, standard for my role, and Jay started shoving and yelling, I followed protocol and walked away. After the show, Jay sent and then deleted some angry voice messages before sending a final text. He apologized for attacking me, but said Annie is obsessed with me and demanded a face-to-face talk, his idea. At coffee, he dropped a bomb. 1, Annie won't stop talking about me. 2, her touching me was inappropriate, and he insisted I quit my job. I beg your finest pardon. How is this your problem? Why do you have to quit your job because he can't get a hold of his girlfriend? This guy's got a girlfriend problem, not a friend problem, okay? The audacity of this girl, but then also the audacity of your friend to like blame you for a situation of her causing. I said no. 1, this income supports my family. 2, audience interaction is mandatory. I can't pick and choose. And 3, he brought her to my workplace knowing what my job entails. Jay accused me of encouraging her, gave a quit or we're done ultimatum, and blocked me everywhere when I stood my ground. Now I'm sitting here like WTF. So am I the a-hole for prioritizing my family's financial needs over my friend's jealousy? No. Why is he even asking you to quit? Why isn't he like having like a stern chat with his girlfriend to be like,
Yo, that's my friend. Like, why are you being like an obsessive fan and like wanting to touch him?
like he should be breaking up with his girlfriend, not getting mad at you. Be freaking for real right now. Wow, guy took his girlfriend to a show where the male performer interacts with the audience and got mad at the performer for doing his job. What a wanker. OP, you don't need to be friends like that. Be glad he blocked you. I agree. I don't like these people. This is like not your circus, not your monkey. You know what I mean? Like you're literally just doing your job. Like why are they even there? They somehow roped you into this like weird toxic relationship. In fact, he should be apologizing to you because of how his girlfriend behaved. That would make me so uncomfortable. Like what a crappy position for you to be in. I understand it's part of your job that there's like touching and stuff like that, but like imagine how uncomfortable that situation would be for someone when it's like, it's not just like some random girl in the audience, it's your friend's girlfriend and he's standing right there. Okay, so we do have an update. Okay, folks, buckle up. 2 weeks have passed since my last post and Scheisse, that's a Scheisse, has escalated with Jay and Annie. After the blow up, Annie started showing up to my shows alone. Oh, hell no. Oh, she weird for that. Every damn night when I do crowd walkthroughs, she'd grab me, squeal in my ear, and generally act like these weirdo girls at some K-pop concert. Oh no, she gotta go. She gotta go. She weird for that. It made me uncomfortable, so I told my manager. Manager's response, she's not breaking any rules. She paid for tickets, suck it up and earn your paycheck. Cool, very professional. I find that really upsetting that like you can be in a situation where they're like grabbing you and making you uncomfortable and like it's one thing if they like go like as a bachelorette, you know what I mean? It's a one-time thing, but like she's showing up every day. Weird. They're probably thinking,
Oh, she's like a paying customer, so like...
Now I'm really questioning this job of yours. I don't like that you're in this position at all and like they're not vouching for you. Then last week, I got a weird DM. When I ignored it, more messages flooded in. Spoiler, it was Annie. What? No clue how she got my number. Jay probably didn't give it to her, so my guess, my manager gave it. Oh, no. Some guys at our club offer private shows for extra cash. You get the idea. I don't do that Scheisse. And the manager knows, but hey, money talks. I politely told Annie I wasn't interested. She either didn't care or didn't process it because she kept spamming me, texts, calls, and even video chats. She texted me,
Do you ever think about me when you're alone?
No, bro.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
I blocked her, but I'm just waiting for her to show up with a burner number at this point. I asked a mutual friend to explain the situation to Jay. Radio silence for days. Meanwhile, Annie kept coming to shows. Then last week, she waited outside the club and followed me to my dorm, trying to chat me up and babbling about how we'd be perfect together. Oh, hella weird. Okay, Reddit, be honest, am I missing something here? No, she sounds like a weirdo. Because from where I'm standing, this is next level Delulu. Totally. She kind of weird. No, not kind of weird. She's like actually like crazy. This is nuts. I repeated, not interested, but she just ignored it. Finally, shook her off at the dorm entrance. At this point, I was done. Had our mutual friend messaged Jay again because seriously, this is insane. Jay finally replied. His take, he still thinks I'm the a-hole here because now Annie throws full-blown tantrums whenever he tries to go to the club with her. Apparently, she only wants to go when she knows I'm performing. How the hell is he still with this girl? And if Jay suggests going together, she loses it and accuses him of not trusting her. I mean, I think it's fair to say that he should not trust her at this point. Like this is not girlfriend behavior. This is like psycho fan, obsessed fan behavior. He said I led her into this, but fine, he'll talk to her. Okay. Cuts to the next time Annie ambushed me after work a few days ago. This time though, she looked crushed and asked why I kept rejecting her. I said, you're gorgeous, but you're not my type and you're dating my best friend. She started crying, calling me a lying a-hole and left.
I think they got the hint.
Honestly, I'm shocked it worked. No idea what happens next, but fingers crossed Jay actually got through to her. So am I the a-hole for not quitting my job and somehow ending up in this telenovela? No. This is hella weird. I don't understand why your friend is still with this person. This is like crossing so many boundaries in so many ways. Like imagine
There's no heaven.
your significant other is this obsessed with like a performer. He's a performer, but he's not like a celebrity. Like why is she acting like he's a K-pop idol? I feel sorry for you, man. I'm sorry that you are in this position because this is cray-cray. You must be super hot. So some people pointed out in the comments that like, why are you complimenting her? I read that as well. And I also don't like that you said you're gorgeous. Okay. I feel like in this position, like I understand that, you know, you need to play nice while you're at work, but while you're not at work, you said that this was after work. I don't understand why you're people pleasing and you're still like telling her that she's beautiful and gorgeous and that. Like, I don't understand. Like, you don't need to be nice. The girl is like making you uncomfortable in your own workplace. Try to never be alone with her, never drink or eat anything she offers you. Don't ever compliment her again. Never ever tell her she's pretty because she will think,
Well, he does think I'm pretty. He told me so.
if she's nuts, don't give her any way to have hope about you. Literally, when you're that delulu, I feel like you're only gonna hear what you wanna hear. I understand you rejected her, but at the same time, you did also say something nice. If I was a crazy girl, I would hear that and be like,
Oh, well, he thinks I'm pretty. Maybe he could like eventually see me as his type.
you know? Some people are saying start filming interactions with her. Yeah, I think that, yeah, definitely. So yeah, just like take all these things into account. Don't compliment her again. And like also very seriously consider whether or not this job is like worth it, you know? You are not the a-hole, but stop being a people pleaser. She crazy. Am I the a-hole for getting my coworker fired after she kept trying to prove my service dog is fake? I have a medical alert service dog named Max who helps with a serious heart condition. He's literally saved my life multiple times by alerting before I pass out. I started a new office job 3 months ago and everything was fine until, let's call her Karen, started her crusade against Max. It started small. She would loudly announce that pets aren't allowed in the office every time she saw us. I explained repeatedly that Max is a service dog, not a pet, and showed her his documentation. She then started telling everyone I was obviously faking because I look too young to be disabled. It's actually crazy how many people feel this way. Disabilities don't have to be visible. And service dogs are for a variety of things. There's some things that are like emotional support, you know, service animals, and sometimes I'm like, like I know someone who has pretended to have an emotional support service animal so that they can take the service animal on a plane. Not like I support it, but you know what I mean? Like there are some people who lie about stuff like that. That's why it's good to like not assume and just ask for documentation, which if they're a real service animal, the owner should have. Things escalated fast. She tried to test Max by dropping food near him. He's trained to ignore it. I'm just thinking about like what Murph would do in this scenario. Murphy cannot. He literally scans the ground for garbage and food. Most dogs would just hoover that up. Karen reported me to HR Weekly, but the worst part, she started purposely wearing strong perfume and spraying air freshener around my desk, which triggers my condition.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Max alerted 3 times in one day because of this. The final straw, I found out she was taking photos of me and Max and posting them in a Facebook group about fake service dogs, asking for ways to expose me. She included my full name and workplace. Oh, yeah, no, this is lots of illegal things going on here. What an amazing hill to die on. What is it about people with service dogs that just makes everyone, not everyone, really dumb people so angry? You must be so bored in life to take this upon yourself. I took screenshots and went to HR. They fired her on the spot for harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Yeah, this is one scenario in which I feel like there's enough documentation here to be like, okay, no, this is like majorly bad. You are causing a legal issue for the company. You gotta go. Now my inbox is flooded with messages from her friends and family saying I'm the a-hole for getting a mother of 3 fired over a dog. I mean, you could have done much worse.
They put you in jail right away.
It's always interesting when people get like mad about you, like the consequences of their own actions, when like you literally could have gone to like the police. Saying that I'm the a-hole for getting a mother of 3 fired over a dog and that I should have just worked from home if I'm so sick. Well, no, unless you have personally stated, I would say forcing you to work from home is like kind of discrimination. So here's the thing. I feel horrible she lost her job. Her kids aren't at fault here, but she put my life at risk with the perfume stunts, and doxing me online was scary. I don't understand why you feel bad about this. Like, it's not your fault. She's doing the most here. And like, if she's doing it on company time too, like, you ain't got nothing better to do, Karen? Come on. I understand that her kids aren't at fault, but like she should have thought of that before she made it her personal mission to harass someone with a disability at work. Not the a-hole, you didn't get your coworker fired. Your coworker did that all by herself. Not only that, OP, she tried to do you serious harm with the air freshener and perfume. She should have been sacked for that alone and possibly charged. That woman is a danger to you and everyone else around her. Yeah, like, why do you feel bad for her, dude? Like, she sounds kind of scary. Do not spend one more minute worrying about it. I agree. Not worth your time. It's not your fault she was fired. HR fired her for the things she did. Yeah, it's not like you went out of your way and lied about what she was doing. There's literal proof of her online doxing you. She dumb as hell. Every single employee should know about these things and should know the implications of discriminating against someone with a service dog. That's why they have documentation. That's why they have papers. Disabilities are not always visible. And if you're gonna be an asshole about it, you do deserve to get fired. And quite frankly, you should understand the implications because you could go to jail if you act like this. Okay, important thing to note, anyone that messaged you on her behalf, let them know you forwarded this information to the police as part of an ongoing investigation for the doxing. And actually do it because a paper trail is the only thing that offers you any type of protection, not the a-hole. I agree. I think it's decided you are not the a-hole, my dear. Siska